This is my straight talk video about HARS, an information acquisition, processing, and distribution system designed to meet specific functional objectives. It is intended to be informative and includes my observations and opinions without the niceties about government, contractor, and civilian efforts to get the bad guy. In short, I believe that the results of these efforts have been pathetic, and from an ROI or effectiveness perspective, the results have been dismal. I see a tremendous amount of money, a scarce resource, being spent in the millions and millions of dollars with little return. How is this possible? Surely someone must be accountable. Sadly, the answer appears to be no, at least not that I can determine. Yet all of the many programs sound great and are claimed as a major effort, and many heroes are produced, as long as we don't consider the results. I assert that most of this is nepotism and CYA. There is an old adage, before you can solve a problem, you have to know you have a problem. Two short examples. The Homeland Security Program of See Something, Say Something, a national program, was implemented by the New York City Metropolitan Transit Authority to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Result, a series of posters were produced. Yes, posters. And proof of the success of this program was that over 100 requests came in, both nationally and internationally, to use the posters. It was a proven success. But how many bad guys or threats were identified? Zippo, to my knowledge. I ask that anyone who knows differently to contact me so I can update my information, and I will apologize in advance for any mistakes on my part. Yet, I hasten to note, this was a program directed at the public, and for this I sincerely applaud Homeland Security and the NYMTA. Another quick example. The multi-department, multi-agency program to create and install, around 80 or so, fusion centers at local and state levels. This was a multi-million-dollar program designed to provide sophisticated information sharing after an event. Okay, what was the score? Another Zippo, as far as I know. Again, I invite those who know differently to correct me. Even if there was an isolated success, was it worth the millions of dollars the program cost? But what is the cost of a life? Or might we have gotten more for our money with another program? Of course, you can see where I'm going with this, because I give you the credit for the intellect to understand the significance of my message. And of course, I maintain and totally believe that HARS could have been implemented at a tremendously lesser cost and would have been far more successful. I will make the following statement. HARS is ready for implementation on a number of specific standalone functional objectives, and I am totally confident of two things. One, that it would be mission successful for specific functional and operational objectives, and two, at the same time it would generate revenue. Now, the power and beauty of HARS is that standalone implementations can later be integrated into a larger homogeneous system because HARS is scalable and is an open system. I will give you two examples where HARS is ready for implementation now. First example, HARS information display monitors can be placed in prisons and the information displayed culled and tailored to the individual demographics of the prison population. This concept of providing information to prisoners to help catch the bad guys is proven to be successful. I refer you to the good side of bad topic addressed below. Second example in two parts. HARS at an international airport terminal. A HARS information display monitor could be placed at the portal for passengers exiting the gate area and entering into the general public area, where waiting people are scanning the faces of arriving passengers looking for the persons they are there to meet. All of these people see the images of wanted persons on the display monitor, while at the same time they are scanning the faces of all the arriving passengers. Rather simple concept, in my opinion, and a simple implementation of HARS with a specific functional objective. Oh, and part two, Every immigration officer could have a HARS information display terminal at his work position where the HARS playlist is tailored to display the specific information with the highest operational priorities at that specific location. Again, another simple implementation of HARS. This topic is covered in more detail in the VitaStar Solutions PowerPoint presentation, which is available for those with a serious interest. Please, I have two examples which are not mainstream HARS operations, but merely examples of the possible implementation using the HARS infrastructure or a subset of it. To learn more, please visit the How It Works in the panel on your right. Good grief, I wanted to make Straight Talk brief, but I have a lot of pent-up frustration, and I am a warrior, and we are not doing well with this battle on terrorism and the bad guys. Many of our current efforts are sorrowfully ineffective. Yes, I know, we have had a lot of successes. I read the news about NSA, CIA, and other agencies and the number of threats which have been discovered and neutralized. At least that's what I read. I don't mean to demean these successes, for they are a critical weapon in the war. However, they aren't the only weapon. I hasten to note that HARS is not in conflict or competition with the programs of these agencies. Rather, it is a powerful complementary system which has the obvious potential to produce a sum result greater than its parts. Or is this only obvious to me? One of the biggest weapons we have as a nation is the American citizen, our public. The power of the public is responsible for more tips and leads that result in arrest than any other source. The public is a powerful weapon, yet shamefully it is mostly ignored. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that the U.S. public is hungry to be involved, yet they don't know how or what to do. With HARS, we tap into the sleeping giant of a warrior to bring that enthusiasm and commitment into the battle, not to mention millions of their eyes. Every, and I mean every company I have talked to about HARS is extremely receptive to join in the battle with their resources. What do I mean? I am talking about the HARS Extended Network. What is the HARS Extended Network? It is the integration of the HARS network with the networking resources of other companies to produce a larger, more extensive network of combined resources. This becomes the HARS effective network and infrastructure. Wow. This is leveraging. This website is not intended to explain every detail of the high-value information alert and reporting system, but it is hoped to provide a glimpse of the future and what is possible. And to business people, one of the great attributes of HARS is that while being a weapon for good, it can also generate revenue. And thus, because of a positive reinforcing condition, it will grow and grow and grow. And as it grows, it becomes more effective. And as it becomes more effective, it becomes a better revenue generator. Instead of spending large amounts of money creating new ways to send the same information back and forth and perpetually standing by to share more information when it becomes available, perhaps some investment should be made on generating more original and relevant information of specific value and bring the human element into the equation. Again, as I previously mentioned, more information on this aspect of HARS is available in our PowerPoint presentation. It may not be obvious for some, for the obvious is not obvious until it becomes obvious, but the missing ingredient in the war is the U.S. public. The public is the human element which can be a powerful weapon in this war. Yet, very strangely, there are few efforts to capitalize on the sleeping giant of a weapon. Give the public a weapon. Give them HARS. A last brief comment on HARS. While one of its essential concepts is to enlist the power of the public, another is to use predictive analytics in processing information. Many police departments are now using analytics, but in a very simplistic manner. The analytics considers all historical data on crimes that have been committed and the geographical locations of the crimes. This is used as a tool to determine where to assign police officers so their visible presence will act as a deterrent, and they will also be better positioned to respond to a crime when it is committed. Please enjoy the related police video on your left. HARS uses predictive analytics, but more specifically, it also uses predictive behavioral analytics to predict where a known criminal might be located or might be likely to go. In turn, this is a factor in the HARS algorithm, which creates an individualized playlist for each information display monitor or information display program using another media. This is the HARS sniper rifle approach, as opposed to the shotgun approach. Can VitaStar Solutions do this on its own? Of course not. And for this reason, we are open to discuss the way forward with other warriors. Please note that I have a hard copy of this script available, and you have permission to use it without restriction. Also, browse the other information on this website to get a better understanding of the high-value information alert and reporting system, HARS. Thank you for watching this video.